BingX, a trusted global crypto exchange. Trade spot, futures, or copy top traders easily. Sign up via the link or referral code to get 30 USDT instantly, plus up to 1,500 USDT in bonuses for verification, deposit, and trading.
The shocking saga of the Murdaugh family, a once powerful South Carolina dynasty, continues to captivate and confound, as evidenced by the gripping Hulu series Murdaugh, Death in the Family. This true crime docuseries delves into the extraordinary unraveling of a family whose legacy has been irrevocably stained by fraud, corruption, and ultimately, murder. While the public's awareness of the Murdaugh's deep-seated issues seemingly began with the tragic 2019 speedboat accident that claimed the life of 19-year-old Mallory Beach, the subsequent conviction of patriarch Alex Murdaugh for the 2021 murders of his wife, Maggie, and son, Paul, has only exposed a far more intricate and disturbing reality. Investigations into Alex Murdaugh's financial dealings and a closer examination of other perplexing deaths connected to the family have painted a complex portrait of unchecked power and privilege. As co-creator Aaron Lee Carr stated, "This is a case of out there, devastating, wild cases about unchecked power and privilege that you've ever seen, a narrative that remains incredibly significant today." At the emotional core of the series lies Maggie Murdaugh, a figure silenced by tragedy, yet brought to life through Patricia Arquette's compelling portrayal. The series depicts Maggie as a devoted wife and mother, gradually awakening to the vast web of deceit spun by her husband. Arquette herself found the duality of Alex Murdaugh fascinating, a charismatic family man who was also a pathological liar and manipulator. The actress noted that for Maggie, the dawning realization of, "I have no clue who I'm married to," was a pivotal and terrifying moment, especially as the family grappled with addictions and alcohol and drugs and all of these different things. Betrayals. It's like layer by layer of nightmare things. Drawing from Mandy Matney's extensive Murdaugh Murders podcast, co-creators Aaron Lee Carr and Michael D. Fuller crafted an 8-episode limited series that meticulously chronicles the on-the-record mayhem. However, as is often the case with scripted true crime narratives, artistic license was employed to fill the void where court transcripts and documentary cameras could not penetrate the private lives and unspoken emotions behind closed doors. Carr distinguishes between the truth and the story truth, emphasizing that while the series is firmly rooted in fact, certain embellishments were made to enhance the narrative and provide deeper insight for those familiar with the Murdaugh saga. A central question explored in the series is the identity and inner world of Maggie Murdaugh. Portrayed by Patricia Arquette, Maggie is a pivotal character, but her thoughts and feelings as her family's life imploded remain unknowable. The creators had to extrapolate, as Aaron Lee Carr explained, drawing on information that Maggie owned a local store, married young, and had attracted other suitors. The series imagines Alex Murdaugh asserting his claim, "This is my wife." This creative approach allowed for the fictionalization of her relationship with her sister and potential past marital issues, thereby granting greater access to her story and the complexities of her marriage. The series also probes whether Alex Murdaugh attempted to silence witnesses following the fatal boat crash involving his son, Paul Murdaugh. The events of February 24, 2019, remain a grim reminder of the tragedy. On that early morning, a drunk Paul Murdaugh was driving the boat that crashed into Archers Creek Bridge, resulting in the death of Mallory Beach and injuries to others on board. Paul faced charges of boating under the influence causing death and great bodily injury, awaiting trial when he and his mother were murdered. Murdaugh, Death in the Family, depicts Alex and his father, Randolph Murdaugh III, visiting the hospital to urge the surviving young passengers not to speak with authorities, a scenario that aligns with multiple accounts. Alex Murdaugh later denied attempting to influence Connor, one of the crash survivors, but Connor stated in the Netflix documentary, Murdaugh Murders, that Alex had whispered to him at the hospital, urging him to remain silent and assuring him he would handle everything. Furthermore, law enforcement records indicate that as Paul began to give a statement, his grandfather, Randolph Murdaugh III, intervened, declaring himself Paul's lawyer and halting any further statements. Another aspect examined is whether the Murdaugh family took a vacation following the boat crash. In the series, Alex, Maggie, elder son Buster, and Paul travel to the Bahamas, where a distressed Paul becomes involved in a drunken altercation with British tourists. However, Detailed accounts of the family's actions in the immediate aftermath of the crash do not mention a vacation, while Paul and his then-girlfriend Morgan were indeed in the Bahamas in 2017. According to two British individuals they befriended, these individuals were unaware of the subsequent Murdaugh drama, including the boat crash, until they watched the Netflix documentary. Max Burton recounted how, after posting a throwback video from the 2017 trip tagging Paul and Morgan in August 2019, Paul contacted him via Instagram, requesting the video be taken down, stating, "Me and that girl are no longer dating and are not supposed to have any contact." This detail, while from a different time frame, adds a layer to the portrayal of Paul's personal life. The series also touches upon the moment where housekeeper Gloria Satterfield is shown comforting Paul after the boat crash. This poignant scene is identified as one of the more evident fictionalizations, given that Gloria Satterfield had passed away a year prior to the accident. The 57-year-old had died on February 26, 2018, 4 weeks after being hospitalized following what Alex Murdaugh described as a fall at the family's Moselle Road home, attributing it to the family dogs. Series co-creator Michael D. Fuller explained their decision to include Gloria, stating, "We chose to keep Gloria. We decided that in order to show her relationship with the family. With Paul in particular, it made story truth sense to have her be alive and see how that plays out in the current timeline of our show." This decision underscores the creator's intent to explore the dynamics and emotional impact within the family, even if it required fictionalizing certain timelines. The presence of journalist Mandy Matney is also depicted in Murdaugh, Death in the Family. The series, based on her Murdaugh Murders podcast, shows Matney, played by Brittany Snow, having a dramatic eye-to-eye encounter with Alex Murdaugh at the hospital following the 2019 boat crash. Although her podcast began in 2021, Mandy Matney did encounter Alex Murdaugh as early as 2019, but in a courtroom setting. She recounted on her podcast's companion show that she had a stare-off with him during Paul Murdaugh's 2019 court hearing. Describing the moment, she said, "I saw him for the first time, and we did a stare-off, and he looked like he was about to approach me. And then court started." She had another significant encounter with Alex during his own trials, recalling, "I was trying to leave the building, and for some reason, he was leaving at the same time, in cuffs and everything." These encounters highlight the persistent presence of the Murdaugh scandal in the public eye and the journalist's ongoing pursuit of the story. The extent of Alex Murdaugh's influence and alleged manipulation of powerful figures is also explored. Death in the Family portrays Alex introducing a South Carolina Department of Health and Environmental Control official to the state's governor at a Murdaugh family gathering. In this fictionalized scene, Alex is seeking a permit for a jellyfish harvesting business and offers the governor research funding for the SCDHEC. While Alex Murdaugh did attempt to launch this jellyfish business, it was reportedly shut down in 2014 due to permitting and environmental issues. 5 years before the boat crash. Crucially, there is no record of him seeking assistance from then-Governor Nikki Haley. Co-creator Michael D. Fuller clarified that in reality, Alex was involved in numerous land deals and other business ventures, but the jellyfish business was included for atmospheric purposes, as it felt like a very southern business endeavor to undertake, adding a touch of regional flavor to the narrative. Finally, the series touches upon the deep-rooted influence of the Murdaugh family within South Carolina's legal system. Randolph Murdaugh III, who, like his father and grandfather before him, served as the 14th Circuit Solicitor, was honored with the Order of the Palmetto, the governor's highest civilian award, on September 20, 2018. This ceremony, depicted in the series, took place outside the Hampton County Courthouse and was attended by Randolph III's extensive family, including Alex and Maggie. This honor underscores the family's long-standing prominence and the network of power and prestige they had cultivated over generations, a legacy that would ultimately be shattered by the tragic events that unfolded.